AEW All In event. AJ, I'm going to read the results here, and then I'm going to go through my personal notes that I thought were interesting. This was a big card. I'm even going to read a pre-show match here because I thought it was interesting. The Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes, Marshall Von Erich, Ross Von Erich, and Sammy Guevara defeated Shane Taylor Promotions. I didn't even know Dustin wrestled twice on his show until I went back and looked at it. Big Boom AJ and the conglomeration, O'Reilly Hologram, Ishii defeated Don Callis family, FTR defeated the Outrunners. This was all on the pre-show. The Ops opened the show and defended against the Death Riders. MJF won the Casino Battle Royal for the men. Dustin Rhodes obviously won the TNT title. Swerve Strickland and Ospreay win. So the Bucks are no longer EVPs. Athena won the Women's Gauntlet Battle Royal. The Hurt Syndicate defended their tag belt successfully. Tony Storm is still champion. Okada unifies the belts against Omega, and Hangman Page is the star of the show. First thing I want to talk about here, just in order, is MJF. Was he the right choice to win the Battle Royal?
I think with his storyline with the Hurt Syndicate, he is the right choice. Quite frankly, making him the option going forward, especially against Hangman Page, maybe as the next opponent. I think that with the Hurt Syndicate in his corner, it makes it a very compelling story. In the long run, if MJF ends up winning the title, the Hurt Syndicate could end up turning on him, and now you got Bobby Lashley lined up against MJF for the world title. So it's really a good path to go down. And I think it is the right way to go.
I had a question for you. Was MJF the right choice? My next note is basically says Dustin Rhodes was the right choice. To me, this wasn't even up for grabs. Texas. Unfortunate what happened to Adam Cole. I don't know if he's going to retire. I don't know if he should retire at this point. I wish the guy the best of luck. But man, oh man, what a great moment for Dustin Rhodes in his 50s. Guy always shows up in shape, prepared. I'll mention this with Shelton later, but Shelton, Dustin, Sting. If you were ever happy there was an AEW, I'm happy just for those three guys alone because of the career they've had at this careers in AEW.
So I don't know if you saw the news earlier in the week. Dustin Rhodes earlier in the week signed a contract through 2030.
Another 5 years. Bless his heart.
Yeah, so he's got another 5 years that he's going. And quite frankly, at the rate that he's going at, I don't see him not being able to do it.
He's having some of the best matches.
You realize, other than the WWE World Championship, there's no belt that Cody's held that Dustin hasn't.
Right.
That's the one belt that Dustin's never been able to get is a World Championship.
Yeah,
the guy's a Hall of Famer. He's done whatever any company's asked him to do. And behind the scenes, what you might not know about Dustin Rhodes, he's actually very responsible for the women's side of AEW. And he gets all the credit in the world as far as I'm concerned, with just being a professional.
He's been like that for a while. Billy Gunn's another one I didn't mention too, that, he does great stuff with the women back there as well. And he's a guy that's still in great shape. Yeah, I mean, 3 belts. I wouldn't have saw this. 6-man champ, tag team champs of Ring of Honor, and now AEW single score with the TNT title. Yeah, if he's not going to be AEW World Champion, which I don't think they ever made that look, you could do something, put that Ring of Honor World title on this guy. To me, Dustin, that's a great storyline at his age. Never having had that World Championship in a promotion. You could definitely do something with that.
He almost has as many belts as Mercedes Moné, for Christ's sakes.
When you talk about his family, you talk about Cody being like, the biggest star right now, and you talk about Dusty being, the biggest like guy that could talk and draw money, a legend. One thing about Dustin, and obviously the book is still to be written on Cody, but you could say compared to his dad, none of those guys were physically still going at it at the level that Dustin is still to this day in his 50s.
Oh, no. By the time Dusty was 50, he could barely move. He would just come in and Steve Corino would just come in and bounce off his elbow.
On that elbow.
Yeah.
On that elbow, baby. This was a lot of show, so we'll just keep moving here. That was something I thought we definitely need to touch on. Young Bucks EVPs no more. Where do we go here with them?
I don't even know what that storyline even means, quite frankly. That's so they have no EVP powers. Does that just mean that now they have to be booked every week? Does it mean I know they were very specific about the fact that the powers weren't going to Swerve and to Will Ospreay. So it's
Right.
not like all of a sudden they're getting their powers so that they can make the Bucks suffer. There's no point to this storyline. It's stupid,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I'm not a big fan of it either. Athena, was she a good choice? I thought she was a great choice.
I love Athena winning it. She is the Ring of Honor champion. She's also had that belt forever.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's also one of the most underrated women's wrestlers probably in the last decade. I don't think she gets anywhere near the flowers that she deserves. She certainly didn't get them from the WWE.
Fair enough. No. She's a great competitor. You know, we're going to talk more about women's evolution later. And we talk about Naomi and some of these people finally getting their due. Athena's right there. She should be.
Well, the best part is so we always talk about Tony Khan's booking, and his booking sometimes is very suspect, hence the tag match right before this.
Mhm.
But with this option and with going in this direction, this is some of the best booking that he's actually done, and he shocked everybody, and it's awesome.
The Hurt Syndicate. I brought them up. I wasn't going to touch on this, but I saw a thing Shelton Benjamin posted this week about celebrating his birthday and what a good birthday weekend. And I thought, man, this guy is just being treated with so much respect in AEW.
And how great does he look for 70?
You must be going to that Mia Yim school, Harry. They're gonna get mad at you. Listen, he's phenomenal shape, phenomenal condition. He reminds me of the Steiner brothers, although he's a lot older than the Steiner brothers when they were doing that stuff back in the day. He's another one. He might be in his 50s. I'm not sure. But
the scary thing about Shelton Benjamin is he's always been very honest about the fact that he doesn't work out a lot.
It's crazy.
He's not a person who hits the gym. He's not like Bobby Lashley where he's in the gym working out every day a week. To be in the shape that he's in and to be as good as he is just naturally is absolutely phenomenal.
Toni Storm, was that the right choice? I love Toni, but I got to be honest with you. I thought we could have done more with Monet here, have her get even more championships, and then give the rub to a Willow Nightingale, somebody like that. I don't know. Statlander.
So I disagree with you. I think it was the right choice. The reason why I think it was the right choice is because Monet seemed like the sure thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think anybody thought Toni Storm was actually walking out with that title this weekend. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys did believe that she was walking out this weekend.
I was 50. Yeah.
But to me, putting Toni Storm over, I think now you open the door for Kris Statlander as a heel. I think Kris Statlander is going to make that heel turn. I think that it's coming. She's going to be part of the Death Riders, and I think that you're going to see her actually take the belt off Toni Storm.
I like it. Okada. I feel like I have to mention Okada here because Okada has quietly had this title for, going on 2 years now?
And now he's combined it with another title.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're just building up. Eventually, he's going to have to be in the world title picture, maybe against Hangman if Hangman doesn't lose before this. I don't know if I didn't want to add on Okada. Right now, I just feel like he's on a good run, but I don't know where he's going next necessarily.
So Okada, to me, has been one of those people in the background that his character development's fantastic. I love the way he flips people off. I like the fact that he plays a little bit of the chicken shit heel, but then muscles up at the end. I think that there's more that you can do with Okada, quite frankly, but he's been a good, subtle storyline, and he's obviously always a world champion candidate.
Finally, of course, we got to talk about Hangman Page, the star of the show. He's the guy that, as they call him, kind of the main character. And there's even some discussion that, like AEW tends to do a little better, like rating wise and stuff when Hangman's on top and he's in the main storylines. I think people get behind his character. What are your thoughts?
Hangman is their Magnum TA. I know we never got to see Magnum TA come to full fruition, but he's their Magnum TA to me. He's their working class wrestler, the one that people get behind. People love Hangman Page. I don't know who you predicted for this match. We didn't talk beforehand, but I felt like Hangman was going to win also. John Moxley does not need a belt to be the top heel. No. And Hangman with the belt and with MJF chasing after him, I think you've got a lot of gold here. I think it was a good show. I don't think it was a great show. I think for the length that it was at, I think they left some of the money on the table. Quite frankly, they could have replaced some of the matches with some of the ones that were on the pre-show. And I think that might have been bigger moments, but that's just my opinion. If
you like the content, you like everything we're doing, please check out the show and like and subscribe.